Manchester City start their Premier League campaign in style. A few sticky moments in their game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, but 3-1 victors. KDB scoring, Raheem Sterling setting up young Foden, and then Gabriel Jesus at the end puts it away. But Wolverhampton did miss their chances. We're going to review that game. We're going to review the Premier League weekend as well, and look at a couple of stories circulating in the transfer window. Mendy is costing 30 million. Another 30 million being spent by Chelsea. The pressure on Frank Lampard is building, and Dan James to Leeds United is on. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Here we go. Yes. So welcome back. We're here with KJ. We're here with man like Josh, and we're here with David, who looks like he's turned his desk around in his room.
I have.
So much better. He looks so much better way around. Of course, we're going to delve into the weekend games. We're going to look at the signing of Mendy that's now just been confirmed, maybe not officially by Chelsea, but the price has come through. Dan James to lead. We're going to cover all of that this evening. Make sure you viewers are hitting the like and share button right now. But let's talk about Man City. I'm going to go to Josh first on this. They started off like a freight train. They looked a bit knackered in the middle, but they get themselves over the line. What did you make of their performance tonight?
Yeah, no, basically exactly what you're saying. The first half, I was just thinking, wow, they're going to walk the league. I always jump to conclusions with City because they look so good. But yeah, Wolves came back into it. And to be honest, as soon as they got a bit of pressure on them, they look a bit shaky. Obviously, it wasn't their preferred centre-back pairing, but they look like they can be got at. They need that centre-back.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they were brilliant to start with. I mean, Wolves didn't do themselves any favours. I thought Wolves were legitimately poor in that first half, as good as City were. And I kind of tweeted saying, like, no pre-season with a bit of a meme. Everyone's like, see, it's a terrible excuse. And then we saw from 45 minutes to 70 minutes, Wolves should have been back in that game by more than one goal. What are you saying, David? I mean, they missed some absolute sitters, didn't they?
Yeah, they weren't unlucky because obviously they were the ones who missed their chances, but there was definitely the threat there. But my thing is that was a problem team for City last year. That's one of their losses from last year gone already, and that's the first game. So could they challenge for this league 100%? But after all the signings that Liverpool have made, I think I'm going to have to change my prediction. But
wait, they still got
But obviously we're going to have to wait.
Yeah, there's a long way to go in this window. The next, I was saying to my dad today, he rang me up, asked how things are going. I said, yeah, good. He asked me about the transfer window, and I said, look, it's going to be a madness this next couple of weeks. I think, Josh, you tweeted this earlier as well, like, well, I think it was you, not tweeted it. You said it in the group chat. Like 2 weeks at the back end of the window is a lot of time. There's so much time. I said earlier, like the Alex Telles deal to Man United. I'm thinking there's something about the way it's been worded by the journalist that makes me think it isn't happening. But that doesn't mean that things can't happen. You've got Lingard looking like he's going to you guys, right? And Dan James might be out. That tells me United will then do something because they're not going to weaken. They won't weaken us like that with bodies going out with no one else. I just don't think they'll do that. Even as skeptical as I am of that board, they won't. But Man City, we'll stay on them for a minute. They will buy more. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Were you impressed, KJ, with the way City played though tonight? Considering they've had no preseason, they've had a number of players missing with COVID, and they also had like Laporte, their best centre back, and Aguero missing as well.
They look good, and I think you can see the difference that has been made with Fernandinho coming back into that midfield compared to when he was playing centre back in there. Because at the start of the game, they just seemed to have more control. They seemed like they knew what they was doing and they was calm about it. I think the middle of the game in the second half was just due to the fact that it was fitness and Wolves kind of starting to stuck it on with them a bit more. So it's to be expected that they have a little bit of time where they're under the cosh a bit, but they saw through it well. yo, John Stones. Oh my days, John Stones is definitely their fourth choice centre back because he was the main reason why all those opportunities were happening. Like they need Koulibaly bad. They need Koulibaly or someone of that caliber badly because you can't be relying on John Stones. Like you really can't, fam. It's very peak.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that City what disappointed me with Wolves in the first half is I get the point that they were pressed hard, you know, but they got to be able to pass around the press better than they did. They were really poor. They gave City, for me, that kind of, they made it easy for City in that first half. When they turned it on, you saw when they turned it on in the second half, like there was a 25-minute period where City couldn't live with them. Then City started to look tired as well. And yeah, John Stones, one of the biggest disappointments in English football of the last 10 years. You know, when he was at Everton, he looked like he was going to go on. And this is what happens, though, when you buy young players. Some player, he is no better now than when he was 20 years old. And this happens sometimes to players. They look brilliant at 18, 19, 20, and they never get any better. And then you get others that just keep, slowly progressing. As an example, like Nathan Ake, when he was like a teenager, he weren't doing, I didn't ever think after he was loaned about 75,000 times by Chelsea that he'd ever be playing at this level but some players sort of progress later on, but they definitely need Koulibaly if they're going to win the title because Wolves got them bad tonight. And if Wolves, obviously, is it pronounced, the guy that's created the assist?
Prudence.
I mean, what he did to KDB, that nutmeg, KDB's balls were taken off after that, like castrated.
It's not even just that; it's the ball that he put in and straight afterwards. It was just.
And you know what? I've got one Chelsea boy in here. I'm going to look you in the face and put you on the. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to a skill followed by a piece of end product. That bit of skill needs to be shown for the next 10 years. I know they didn't win the game, but it needs to be shown forever because that for me is genuine skill where you twine a man up and then you deliver something at the end of it. The amount of times I see people like edit out someone's, he nutmegged him bad, but then a man does a cross and he hits the first man. I'm like, I don't care about the nutmeg because the cross was the most important bit and he couldn't deliver it. Like what that man did, I know they didn't win, but that was a thing of beauty. It really, really was in relation to that. But they definitely need to sign somebody. We're going to throw a few more people into the stream here. Man like Ram is in the house. Young Lincoln is with us as well. Ram.
I think you're going to have to introduce me again now.
Looking like Chesney, the Arsenal keeper. That was like...
Man was doing a weird thing to that bottle then. I don't know what
I was
practicing. Ram, Ram, why are you always so low down the camera? Can you move your camera a little bit, please? You need your head high. We need to see like, a bit more.
It's what happens when
Let me see your neck, Ram.
A little more. I want your head to the top of the camera. Like, there we go.
Oh, yes, he has got a neck. Let's go, people.
It's just a head on a pillow. What did you make of City tonight? Anything for you to be fearful of as a Liverpool fan?
The first half they're very good. They were very efficient. The passing was fluid, as you expect from Pep Guardiola's side. Second half, when Wolves really turned it on, they got caught out quite a bit. If Wolves finished their chances, they would have lost. Simple as that. They need a proper centre back. They need a leader in that back four because if they don't sign a centre back, they're done.
City fan here says, "What is all the negativity about? We won. How many teams go away to Wolves and win?"
No,
there is no negativity.
There is no negativity.
Everyone praise City.
Yeah.
Right, the only negative I said was John Stones, but as a Man City fan, you already know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just other than that, you guys are fine.
I think the point we're making here, mate, and I don't mean this is City did well to win tonight. As we said, they've had no preseason. They were good very good in the first half. They took their chances. They deserved it. But I'm looking here at the way you played and were exposed at the back to win the league. That area is going to need to be better. There's no doubt about it. It's going to need to be. But you cannot. If you concede the amount of goals you conceded last season, you could end up losing 7, 8, 9 games again, and you're never winning the league doing that. So that's all we're doing here. We're trying to be fair in relation to that. A comment here from another City fan says, "I swear my heart almost came in the dying moment." Well, that's right.
What?
You knew you under. I know what he means. I think he means his heart almost stopped.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get what things there. And I get what you mean because City definitely rode their luck a little bit there. But I mean, I know a few people predicted City to come third and fourth, including myself. I said third. I'm still, again, I will change my mind if they make those signings. Lincoln, what did you make of City tonight?
Tonight was just same old City. Well, not same old City, but same old Pep Guardiola City that we've seen for the past few seasons. But with the added factor that, and this is going to happen for everyone, no preseason. The way that Man City play, the way that Pep Guardiola wants Man City to play, you're going to need the energy for that, and they just haven't had that. Like in the first half, I think in the first half, that's where they got their first 2 goals. Then in the second half, Wolves went on to them, and then they just couldn't hack it. I mean, they couldn't really hack that. They couldn't really hack Adama Traore in the first half, let alone the second half. But then in the second half, when the energy was starting to die out, they were on the ropes a little bit. And if Diogo Jota, I mean, I was even thinking during the game, where's Patrick Cutrone? He was
He's gone.
He's gone, bro. He's
gone
to Genoa.
He's gone.
Podence, if it was Jota, it would have been 2-2 before.
I get what you're saying.
I think that's wait. Just to say that, I think that's why they signed Nelson Semedo. So Adama Traore is more higher up the field, because if you have Semedo, well, let's be fair, he's not really defensively good, but they're playing 3 at the back, so that he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be a good signing.
I feel like, I mean, they'll change that up a little bit. And it's early. I think Wolves though they'll watch the game back tomorrow, and they will be disappointed with themselves. I'm just watching like the Foden goal here. They're not really pressing hard enough. They got caught out of position a few times. They just had a really bad first half. And City, whether it's City's first game, middle game, or last game of the season, if you're poor against them, they'll be able to play off the park because football-wise, no one plays football like City in the world because it's Pep Guardiola's, rubber stamp and trademark, sort of standing all over that. But it was a good performance from them, as I say. Raheem Sterling getting his. I actually saw the stat before the game. I think in 2019 or in the last 12 months or something, the only player with more goal contributions in world football than Raheem Sterling is.
He's underrated. I mean, underrated by most people. But
we know why. Raheem Sterling's biggest problem is that, one, he gets chastised a lot because we know why. Skin color plays a big part. The second thing is he got vilified by Liverpool and by Liverpool-friendly and Liverpool-biased media for the way he left them. And ever since then, those two things have just followed him around forever. He's never been able to shake that tag. If he'd have stayed at Liverpool and was doing this, he would be lauded as the best player that England's
ever. He'll be the next coming of John Barnes, man. That's what they'll say.
Even better than that. It'd be the best English player ever of all time. But it's because City also don't have the fan base, both nationally and internationally, to pump their guy up. Like everybody, like KDB kind of gets a bit of a hype, but do you know what? I'm telling you this now. If Paul Pogba wasn't at Man United, KDB wouldn't be hyped as much by rivals. They do it because it's like he's better than Paul Pogba. That's all it's there for. Otherwise, they wouldn't care about him because he's at City. Because City is so tiny. He's tiny. City are tiny, like proper small, like borrowers, like little. We've got Monster and Danny joining us now as well. How you doing, boys?
I'm back, baby. I am back.
Yeah, you're back. You didn't want to show your face after you got humbled yesterday.
That wasn't no humbling, man. That was just a red card. They got lucky, man. Listen. I'm saying now. Lucky. Well, I'm not. I still believe Chelsea are going to win the league. I have no doubt in my mind. I'm doubling down in it. The reason why I say so. No. It's not because I'm not saying it because I don't believe it. I actually believe it. I watched Liverpool. I watched the game twice yesterday afterwards, innit? And I'm looking at it. And Liverpool, to me, then showing there's nothing special about them. There's nothing special.
Except they were last season. Wait, hang on.
Except that beautiful 40-yard pass Henderson made for mine.
But Monster. It's literally 2 moments in the game that have changed the whole narrative of that game. It's not even the red card. And it's
listen. We've gone over this game way too much already, man. It is what it is.
Thank you, KJ. Thank you.
They're crying, man. They're crying.
We're done with the City review element now. They've done well. They do what they did. We're going to review the Premier League a little bit later, so we'll come back to this conversation in a bit. I want to talk Mendy. I'm getting absolute Chelsea fans want to kill me right now because I've just said you've spent another 30 mil. Pressure's going to rise on Frank. They want to know why I'm not putting the same pressure on Ollie. And I'm like, yo, I said, if we spend the money we're meant to spend this summer, I'll put the same pressure on Ollie. I had the same energy, bro. But for me,
Terry, do you think the media will do that though? Because
I don't care about the media. I care about what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is put that pressure on, because the 1,200 people watching now and the 3.9 million views on average we get per month, they're watching us. That's what I care about, what they're seeing. For me,
Lampard is he's under way more pressure than Ollie is, and that's just a fact. Do you know what I mean? If Lampard, you know, the first half of last season, if Lampard did the same job Ollie was doing, where where Ollie was losing and they were playing rubbish, Lampard probably would have been out, if we're being honest, in it. So Lampard's definitely under more pressure, man. You know, he spent a lot more. Chelsea spent a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? So he has to deliver some way, you know, some way or another in it. We'll be lying if we say he doesn't have to deliver in it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the guy quote tweeting me here. He says people like Terry are saying all the pressure is on Lampard after all this money has been spent because Roman will want his money's worth. He goes, can someone give me an example of where Roman has spent 150 plus million and sacked another manager other than Conte, who only got sacked because he was outing the board? Now, what I would say to that as a response is you got to take inflation into account, because spending 150 million in the last 2 or 3 years is different to what he was spending in 04, 05, 06, 07. Money has grown exponentially since then. So, you know, back then, like when Rome first came in, 27 million pound bought you Wayne Rooney, right?
Yeah,
now,
man.
so you've got to look at it relatively. We have seen him sack nearly every single manager when he's not been happy. And I'm not saying he'll get sacked this year, but if he doesn't deliver, 2 years in, he's there. But again, inflation is key there. So on Mendy, I'm going to ask this question first. I'm going to go to devil in the detail on this. Is Mendy going to become the number one?
Facts.
He has to be. You know what? You know, you're talking about City being small, right? Don't, like, to the Man United fans on here, don't you feel like they've let Kepa off? Like, we mentioned how bad he is. But I remember when David De Gea came in, and all he did was not catch crosses well. That's all.
Oh yeah,
He could stop shots. I feel like Kepa's got away with murder. The way he's been able to even shake when he didn't want to come off as a sub. How did he shake that?
Danny, question this. The fact that his price tag never gets mentioned ever.
Exactly.
He was 72 M's.
Yeah. No, but KJ,
but
I always say, it's because he is so bad. The price tag is almost like useless to it, because even if he was £1 million, you'd still have the same.
No, David.
Is he the most expensive keeper in the world?
Hold on, David.
I'll give you
for a goal. I was saying, when you break the record for a goalkeeper, he has to perform. He hasn't performed. He's just shocking. But Mendy has to be the number one. But I'm not going to lie, it wouldn't surprise me if he's crap as well.
Yeah, same.
Hold on. Guys. If the thing is, David, if Kepa was a 20 million pound goalkeeper, it wouldn't have been a problem too much. It'd be like, oh yeah, that's a cheap goalkeeper anyway, so that's not a problem. It's the fact that he's 72 million pounds and he's just garbage. I was so shocked when I saw him in that starting lineup against Liverpool, innit? 2 games, 2 mistakes. There's a mistake every single game. I'm fed up of seeing him. I just think listen, at this point in time, forget Mendy. Obviously, we brought Mendy in it, but forget Mendy. At this point in time, I would even have Loris Karius in my team.
Trust me. No, I've been saying it. I'd rather Tim Krul. I genuinely would have had Tim Krul goal last year. It was that bad.
But you're better for Nick Pope.
So who do you think is going to be your biggest flop out of this year's signing? Because obviously, if you lot have scouted Kepa and you think he's worth 70 mil, one of these players is going to be like that.
No, Josh. Before we continue on with that question, let me answer this super chat. It's because they don't actually have a right wing back right now, and they're waiting. They're getting in Nelson Semedo to play that role. So that's the only reason why Traore is there.
He played right wing back against us. I remember.
The guy got killed by Fonzo.
Traore.
Yeah,
but he's got cover. He's got cover back.
Yeah, but he's
so
not going to play Alphonso
really
Davies, is he?
I don't necessarily think tactics were wrong. It was sometimes I think we over focus on tactics. It's execution of those tactics, because some of the mistakes and some of the bad passing and some of the inability to hold the ball isn't the tactic, it's the play. Like, we sometimes mitigate players so much from the blame, if that makes sense. It's on them half the time. Like, KDB only got nutmegged today because he rushed in with his legs open. Do you know what I mean? His legs were there. He's like, oh, hello, oi, oi. It wasn't Pep Guardiola.
And don't forget, if Wolves are taking their chances, you won't be saying that as well.
Literally,
They are taking their chances. You will not be saying that.
They had a good 10-15 minute spell where they were cutting City open.
Yeah,
and big chances. These are big chances.
That's the thing. If they had taken their chances, people would have said it was a tactical masterclass. So sometimes even
Podence doing little chips for the keeper and that.
I know we're done with the review of the game, but at what point are we gonna question this super coach Pep for not improving or adapting this team to protect that back four?
Fernandinho is still their best player. Like, he was their best player today, and he has not got the legs in him for this season.
How old is he? 37?
36, I think.
35, 36.
He's up
when
there.
does Pep
He's
take
up there.
responsibility? Like, when?
There's nothing wrong with 36-year-olds, by the way, boys. You've got Thiago Silva in us.
He's going to get rinsed by
when does Pep take responsibility for that?
Sorry, Pep. Sorry, KJ, go on.
Yeah, so when does Pep take responsibility for that? And also the fact that they haven't bought a new striker in years. Aguero's body is giving up. It's giving up on him, and they need a new striker, because as much as Jesus is useful and he is good at being a backup striker, I don't see him being an effective number one.
Okay. So, no, we spoke about this before. He needs to play with a partner. He can't play by himself. I almost feel sorry for him. But to David's point about Thiago, like, Chelsea fans are in for a rude awakening. I can't wait. That's another thing that's just going to embarrass you guys.
About what? Thiago Silva?
He wasn't even the second best PSG defender when he left.
Stop it.
No.
Hold on, Danny. I'm already hold on.
Mbappe.
You've seen the difference between PSG with Thiago Silva and PSG without them. You've seen the difference.
No, but they can cope without them.
Same team.
And I've seen them cope without him just fine. He wasn't a major factor.
They're not coping right now, though.
Ask a question about Mendy for a second.
Come on.
Boys, I want to go back to Mendy for a second. So when Mendy comes in, is that it then? Are you guys complete?
No.
Complete. No, you are. You're winning the league, so you are complete.
You can't. Yeah. I mean, Monster.
Monster. No, Danny, that's not me. Don't put me in his bracket.
Hold on. So express on that for me, David. You said no. What else do you need? You've got a quality left back, quality centre back, brilliant right back, good goalkeeper, some of the best midfielders in the world, some of the best attackers in the world. What else do you need?
A backup DM, and depending on how this season goes, maybe a new manager. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Wow, David.
No. I am not saying that Frank Lampard is bad. What I'm saying is that after I have enough evidence, then I can say whether he is good enough or not.
It's not looking good at the moment, though, is it? Like,
but it's not looking bad. Like, you lot are going. It's the second game of the season.
Timo Werner hasn't had a shot on target.
Hold on, Terry. Number one, yesterday.
Kai Pereira. Sorry, not Kai Havertz. Kai Pereira.
He's rocking it.
I'm talking one thing. Right, I'm talking about a good control, a pass where you go, ooh.
Well, that isn't true.
That's
he hasn't done a single thing where people have gone, that was really good. He's been a basic bitch now.
Do you want to hear a good stat? Yeah, Kane. You see, Kane. He had more assists in his game than Kai Havertz had completed passes. Or something like that. Honestly.
Hold on.
More assists in his game.
Hold on. Guys. Hold on. Yesterday, I saw so many instances of Werner running in through the Liverpool defense and no balls coming their way.
Yeah, I saw so many. Because Kai Havertz making passes.
Kai Havertz gave. There was a time where Kai Havertz gave Kante a nice ball. Kante was supposed to take it one time, and he's
Monster. What did Werner do when he found himself?
That fact is wrong.
What did Werner do when he found himself on a
I saw it on Twitter. I haven't checked it.
Yeah, shush, man.
We saying Danny?
I was just asking Monster, like, there were several occasions when Werner got in on goal, one-on-one with Fabinho as well. What did he do?
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. He didn't beat Fabinho, but there was instances where there was nothing around him. Like, you can't. If Werner's there by himself, he's isolated up front. There's no one supporting him. There's no wingers there to create space for him. He's literally tried to do it
He
all by
created his
himself.
own
No, but he's going one-on-one with Fabinho.
Yeah, but once, hold
Fabinho's
on.
not even a centre-back.
Baby Havertz, that's the good one. I like.
He should be running him.
You
You guys all know, yeah, especially Man United fans, you know when Martial's there, he will have Rashford at least trying to create some space for him or doing something, supporting him. Werner didn't have no support. No support.
Lincoln had a question. Lincoln had a question. That
I know it's only been 2 games, but when are we going to start talking about how Lampard's using Kai Havertz?
We've already said that.
We'll get to that in a little bit. Go on, KJ.
I've got a question. So you got this new Mendy brother, yeah? For one, first of all, you're buying the wrong Mendy, because what kind of Mendy plays in goal? Let's be honest now. You got all these footballers, yeah, called Mendy, and you get the goalkeeper.
Next they'll get a Dembele. That's a goalkeeper.
You know what I'm saying? Number 2, yeah. You paying what, 25, 30 million for euros?
No, it's 24 million euros according to Fabrizio Romano. So
yeah, whatever. Yeah, 24 million euros. Yeah, you've let a goalkeeper go for 50 million to a relegation team, and he saved a penalty and saved their team today.
KJ, you've heard me say a million times before Mendy and all that. I said Chelsea need to go and get Emi Martinez from Arsenal. I said that from the beginning. I was the first person to say Chelsea need to get Emi Martinez from Arsenal, to take advantage of the situation. And look at it, he's gone to Aston Villa, which it burns me inside. Like, every day I see it, especially when he saved the penalty and all that, it burnt me. I'm like, we could have got this guy for, like, how much did they buy him? 18 mil.
To be fair, the main reason why Mendy's here is because Czech recommended him. So again,
we can't judge him unless we see him.
I think he's going to be an improvement, so I won't get on his back.
Anyone would be an improvement, even if you put Danny Devil in the details in there. He will be.
I know who to go blame. That's all I have to say.
Right, let's move this on now. Dan James is linked with the move to Leeds. It's supposedly going to be a loan move for him. Do you know what I love about Man United fans? I think I tweeted something out and it shows Ollie's ruthlessness that the guy hasn't worked, going to move him on, right? Or give him a year somewhere to see if he can sort himself out. How's he ruthless when, like, Mata and Lingard and Jones are still there? It's like, bro, the club have got to find a buyer for these people. Like it's harder. It's harder to get a buyer for someone that has been trashed for 5 years. Like, it's crazy. And that's also another point I made someone the other day, right? You know people saying that Delo is our best fullback. If Delo is as good as the Ollie Outmob said, there'd be queues of people looking to buy him. No one has come in for him. You know, the fact that we might end up getting £30 million for Lingard.
Oh my!
Amazing, right?
Yo, Josh.
Out there with Dan James.
No, don't worry. That's not.
Dan James. Point where it's easier to kind of move him on now. I wanted to ask Devil in the detail this one first. Getting rid of Dan James now, what is that good business, and what does that signify to you that United are going to do in the remainder of the transfer market?
Well, I want to be respectful to Dan James. I'm not going to criticize him. I think it maybe indicates that when we move him on, we're moving him on now because actually we can't move on Pereira and Mata. So let's get rid of who we can, and that's Dan James. Because like you said, there's upside to him, right? He's young. He's got potential. There's a decent player in there somewhere. He's just not Man United quality right now. Leeds wanted him before. It all makes sense to me. All makes sense. But we know Greenwood didn't play. Daniel James played. Pereira, Mata, Lingard, nowhere in the squad. I have to assume we have a replacement lined up for Daniel James if he goes, and I'm for that happening. I think it needs to happen because I think him staying at Manchester United in these current conditions will probably hurt his career. Him going out on loan is just absolutely perfect for him.
I get that. Monster, right? I need to ask you this, bro. If Lingard and Dan James both go or one of them goes, who's coming in that area of the pitch, that attacking right-hand side? Who's coming into Man United, in your opinion?
Jadon Sancho all day, 100%. I will keep saying it. They're going to get him in it. And I think that's amazing business by Man United. If they get rid of both of them, that's not easy to do. Getting rid of any of them in general. You seen from Chelsea, we're struggling to get rid of some players, isn't it? For Man United to get rid of either Dan James or Jesse Lingard, that's great business for Man United. And I think their board needs to be, at least commemorated for that little bit of business there.
I mean, Josh, we'll go back to Dan James in a minute. Lingard, rumoured £30 million signing. The reason that it hasn't gone in as an official bid yet is because you're trying to sell Dele Alli. Now, if I'd have said to you 2 seasons ago, you're going to sell Dele Alli because your manager wants Lingard in instead of him, would you have said that?
Do you know what? Like, I can't really. I find it hard to like even entertain it because it's not true, innit? Like, one second. Let me explain. If you look at Alistair Gold, who you hear all Tottenham fans talk about him, he's totally come out and like rubbish them rumours. What's happening is Lingard's agent is drumming up interest because he needs a move. Just like happens with United all the time. Just like what happens with United all the time. And what's going to happen, just like Callum Wilson, Fabrizio Romano was saying that we're linked with Callum Wilson. He went to Newcastle. Because if you link with someone like Tottenham or Arsenal or something like that, Newcastle or Aston Villa are going to come in for you. That's what it is. So, like, I know for a fact that is not true. There is no way Levy would sign a player that's had like 1 goal contribution in the past like 2 years.
Levy does love Jose. And if Jose wants Lingard,
and that's my thought on that as well. Like,
the tier 1 for Spurs has said it's not happening, innit? So I'm just saying.
And I get that, and I get they've said that. Tier 1. Remember the tier 1s at Liverpool said they weren't spending money, and they will toe the party. Like this summer, my mind when it comes to tier.
Who's watching TV, bro?
Someone watching something in the background.
Yeah,
it's not me, bro.
I just muted my one.
Not me. I'm not watching TV.
Just checking it weren't me. No, it's not me. It's gone there. Tier 1s this year. They say all the right things, and then it happens. I mean, when we broke the Donny van der Beek news, all the United tier 1s were like, "Oh, I've heard some murmurings. Don't think much of it. Something may happen." Like an hour later, he's holding a shirt type thing. But now, listen, I'm bantering to it. I read the rumors. If Tottenham sign Lingard at all, I'd be shocked. If they spend more than £10 million on him, then he's been for phone the FCA, phone the police, phone.
Yeah, there's some insider trading going on there.
For that one.
Honestly, I don't know what it is. Maybe Jose's bought like £1 million worth of shares in the player on the football.
To be fair,
because that's a madness that happens.
The best Jesse Lingard that we've seen is in the 2016-17 season.
Oh, don't start.
No.
It's still the best Jesse Lingard.
Lincoln, shut up. Listen, Jesse Lingard, that season did it for 2 months. The year and a half before that, he was bad, and the year and a half many years after that, he was bad. So don't use that as he was good.
He does have more Premier League goals than Lionel Messi, so who's the true goal?
Do you know what?
David, guess what? So would I if I played in the Premier League.
No, the other reason that this is happening is because Jose's made Dele Alli his next project. He's like kissed and made up with Ndombele. Like they're like best friends now, liking each other on fucking Instagram and stuff. Sorry for swearing. And like he's playing him and stuff. And now he's moved on to Dele Alli and said that now Dele Alli is there's something wrong with his attitude, even though it was like his favourite player before. So now he's bringing about these.
Ali trade.
Yeah,
to be fair, Josh, I assume you're watching the Prime series. Did you see that?
The last 3 episodes.
Listen, there's a moment and it's Mourinho's already set up by saying Dele Alli doesn't train properly, and it's like a 5-a-side, and he's begging Dele Alli to like close down, and Dele Alli's just like he's just standing there, he's not doing nothing, barely moving. Like there is an issue with him. It's not an attitude problem. He just can't motivate himself for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. The Ndombele one, I think that was Mourinho being a nasty piece of work. With Dele Alli, I think there's a genuine issue with the player, and that issue, his lack of performances and his lack of consistency happened under Poch. He was declining under Poch before Mourinho got there.
Exactly. And the thing is, with Ndombele, it's worked. Like it's actually, if you see him in his last game, he's making tackles and he's getting yellows. He would never be.
Josh.
So he looks like he did
I'm
before
letting
he
you know
joined
this
Tottenham.
now, bro. Wait a few games before you say it's working.
Okay, fair enough.
We've seen this happen before.
Well, look, let me explain though. The last 2 games, he's come on and got our winner, and he's running up to Mourinho and hugging him, and then he's started the move, which started our comeback. Southampton. That's 2 games.
Sorry, that's a bumlick move. Yeah, we'll use it.
Yeah. What I would say, I remember when Martial got a brace at Stamford Bridge with Jose's manager, come off smiling, they hugged and stuff, and everyone was like, "Oh, they've made up."
I remember when we won the Europa League, and you got Paul Pogba with Mourinho going like this. With Jose. Look where. Listen, it's all a fantasy, bro.
Fair enough. We'll see.
It's all for the cameras, isn't it?
So that Paul Pogba, like, you know what I mean? We knew it was dead. But yeah, look on Dan James leaving. Look, I think it's a good move for him. I think he's mentally finished at United beyond the physical level. And like I said earlier, Leeds would be a good move for him. A lot of people saying, "Well, Bielsa, why would they want him if he isn't any good?" That every team that Leeds go up against, pretty much, is going to open up, leave space in behind. That's going to play into Dan James' hand. When you play for Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, teams sit back against you. It's hard to work it out. It's an experiment that cost us around 12 to 13 million. But actually, look, it was £18 million signing for only 1 year in, and he had a 5-year deal. So what's 18 divided by 5? We haven't paid that much, have we yet?
Less than 2 million a year, that works out.
He only cost us 3.6 mil. We're going to sell him on. It's all good because you only pay things yearly, don't we, Liverpool fans?
Wouldn't you want him to have? Would you want him on the bench?
No.
So if you want just a little bit of injection of pace.
No, you're Ram. Here's the reason why I say no. Is because Dan James, as much as he brings pace, that's all he's got. He's only got one attribute which is useful, which is his pace, and number 2 attributes: work rate and pace, and that is it. Even with that, the end product is not good enough for United. So bringing him on for the last 10 minutes of the game doesn't really produce nothing.
Someone like a Dan James failing isn't a worry to me. When you spend between under 20 million pounds on a player in the current day market and it doesn't work, you sell them on. You take a little loss, 4 or 5 million pounds. It really isn't the end of the world. It's what you don't want is just 25, 35, 45, 55 players.
Like need more goalkeepers.
Yeah, not delivering and making a better team. And he started off well for Dan James. I just think that there's all sorts of factors that it isn't working for him. I think it's a good move if it means Jadon comes in. I mean, because then it's what's gone into what comes into what's gone out is like, do you know what I mean? It's a worldie in for a 10 to 2 up.
I actually reckon it's not Dan James for Jadon Sancho in that sense.
No.
But I mean, I think it would be Sancho anyway, and then someone else to come in to replace that Dan James.
I'm telling you, KJ, I don't think we're getting rid of Pereira and Mata in this window, and that's why we're getting rid of Dan James.
So you reckon those two will play more games then?
No, I reckon we won't. They'll be like out of the squad, but it's Woodward. Woodward. He's
trying to balance. Yeah.
Listen, it's not a coincidence. Valencia leaves, we get a right back. We identify Smalling as the player to leave Man United because somebody actually wants him, and then we get Maguire. These things are not a coincidence, in my opinion. We don't replace Herrera. We get Bruno Fernandes.
Very space when Wilfried Zaha is holding a red shirt is going to be.
No, Josh King, Bob. It will be Josh King. I know it. I know.
See what the thing is? On a Josh King, if we signed Sancho and Josh King, I'm cool. If we signed Sancho and Adam Brooks, I'm fine with it. It's for me.
Adam Brooks. David. Who's Adam Brooks?
I don't care. Who's Adam Brooks? He's someone. I know that name. It's in my head. Anyway, the point I'm making is right. Those kind of players, I'm fine with buying cheap fringe players, cheap backup players. Although I still think you could probably pick up for the same money Cantwell or Buendia. But the point I'm making is I'm fine with that if you've got quality in front of them, because I grew up watching people like Henning Berg, Jasper Blomqvist, Phil Neville, these men in my squad who were never the elite level, but when they were surrounded by quality, they could do a job. I'm not worried about that. Even if we don't sign Sancho and Lingard and Dan James Lead, and we replace them with about the same level quality, there's no mileage in that. There's absolutely none in doing that. We're going to move the show on now a little bit, though, and review the match week 2 of the Premier League. Of course, the big game happened yesterday. We've done that one to death. What I want to start with was by focusing on two of the greatest individual performances I've ever seen in Premier League history. You had the tap-in merchant who does nothing but tapping goals, Harry Class A Kane, with 4 majestic assists and a goal. And then you had Son, man like Sonny boy. And you know what? Sonaldo's dumb. We're not calling him that. He's just Son. He's his own. You get what I'm saying?
I'm a United fan. Best South Korean player to ever play in the
best Asian export, mate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What, better than Jason Park?
He is.
Daddy,
that isn't the debate.
No,
that
it's
isn't
not that.
We're not getting into that debate.
He's just one of the best.
Yeah.
He's just one of the best players I've seen on the left, period.
I'll go to Josh first on this. Before we do that, we're going to add man like Yagal into the stream, and we'll add him in. I don't know if he'll talk. He might just sit there for the next 20 minutes and look pretty. We'll add Prime into the stream as well. Basically, our mascot now. You just sit there and don't say nothing.
Just
And every now and then you ask a question that we all know the answer to. It's like the question like, sorry, if I need to go to the toilet, is it okay if I go? It's like that level.
I wanted to jump in on Dan James before you guys move on. Is that okay?
Quickly, 1 minute, go.
Quickly, if you guys don't get at least 2 players in, if you let Lingard and Thing leave, even though they're not quality, you still need squad depth. These guys are end of the bench guys who are going to play those meaningless games. You still need those guys.
We do. We got Hannibal coming through. It's fine. It's fine, love. Fine. Hannibal. Man like Hannibal there. Hannibal Lecter. Gonna get ya.
Selector.
What is wrong with you, bro? You're a weirdo, fam.
I feel like I'm being ganged up upon here. Don't do that.
White boy bar.
Oh, it's okay when it's Prime, but when it's Terry getting ganged upon, oh, don't do that to me, please. Oh, no.
Why is David mentioning the big... What's that all about, bruv? Do you know what I mean? That's a bit harsh. It's a little bit harsh. We've got such a good job. I'm not sensitive, isn't it? Anyway, right.
You say so.
Go to John first of all.
John,
when Prime spoke.
Did you Josh?
What did you say, Prime?
I said if you say so.
See that you just Prime. Like,
You should have said, I don't have to repeat for you. I don't have to repeat.
Sure. Now, come on. If you say, Josh, we're talking, let's stop now. We're talking Tottenham. Their amazing comeback. 4 goals from Son. Josh, tell me about that game. And what does it mean? Signify anything to you?
Do you know what? It actually does, doesn't it? Everyone knows that I'm not Jose's biggest fan, but everyone's been saying that it's 2 total individual performances, and it was obviously it was Kane and Son being world class, but it was actually like Jose for the past 2 games has been trying something different. He's been trying to press up the pitch, like play a high line and play a 4-3-3. And it wasn't working because obviously Southampton know how to press and they know how to play that system better than we can. So in the first half, we were just getting sent to school. Half time, Jose said, Harry Kane go back into the hole and Son just make runs into, in behind basically. So yeah, it's actually given me some hope. I'm not saying that I'm going to change my opinion after 1 Premier League game, but the fact that Jose is, showing some signs that he's trying to do something different. And then when he's realized that hasn't worked, he's then, made a good decision that has caused us to score 5 goals, basically. So, yeah.
No, I get that. Was anybody else shocked? I mean, I remember when you were 1-0 down, I had the game on in the background. And I think Jermaine Genius was legitimately kicking off saying it's just long balls up to Harry Kane the whole time. And I then I don't know what I did. I went out to my garage, did something, came back in. It was half time, didn't know what the score was. Came back out, come in again, it was 2-1. I'm like, oh, I was actually sitting thinking, oh, this is going to be a peak match review. This, a 1-0 down because Jermaine Juniors was kicking off. Who else watched the game here? Because I don't want to go to you.
I did.
I watched it as well.
Okay,
I watched the match today.
Monster, from your point of view, did you see anything from the week before? Tottenham were getting like ripped into. Jose's part. Did you see anything different from Tottenham in that second half, which made you think maybe Jose's happier and they're turning things around?
I didn't really see. I'd maybe something a little bit. I just felt like they figured out how to beat. Who was it they played again? I completely forgot. Southampton. They realized if they can get Son running through and someone can ping the ball over the top, because that happened quite a lot. It was just, I don't know. They just figured them out. They figured out Southampton. Yeah. I'm not sure. I want to see how they perform in their next game to see if there is truly something different yet. But I just think they figured Southampton out.
Who is Spurs' next game?
Monster makes a good point, actually.
I got to take on this.
They didn't play that ball a lot. He played that ball over and over and over again, and it worked. Yeah. That's what's crazy about it. It was the same assist over and over and over.
It was like a FIFA game.
Something Chelsea should have done against Liverpool. Something.
But I think it's isolated to that game. Clearly, Mourinho gave those instructions. It worked well. Those guys.
But he wasn't doing it in the first half, though. That's what I'm saying. I want to give Jose credit.
Mourinho's obviously made some adjustments.
Yeah.
But what I would say, Josh, is the 4-3-3 thing. Mourinho tried that at United, and what you'll see if you see him abandon that 4-3-3, be worried. That's what I'd say.
I think Højbjerg was crucial to this game. He was the cheat code. He had the insider trading, and Jose Mourinho, even after the game, said he was a big part of our victory. He was telling us what they do, what their tendencies are, and how they defend.
He knows them.
That's how the game flipped. He was basically coaching his team and telling Mourinho little things to do. That is a good player. That's cool.
I'm just asking, did you watch the same game? Because you may have been telling them all this information, but he didn't play well.
No,
he didn't play great.
At the beginning,
he was poor.
I'm not saying I watched the whole entire game. I watched the highlights from Match of the Day. I didn't watch the whole entire game. That was too early for me.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering.
Hang on, too early. It was on a midday.
No, he's American.
He's in London.
I had plans. I wasn't going to sit down and watch
Hard Saturday night, mate. Big Saturday night.
Well, you're still a football fan. You don't watch football when it's on TV.
I love a 12:30 quick off.
Bro, when you have a wife, when you have plans, I'm sorry.
No, football comes before your wife always. If you're a real football fan, that's the English way.
But look, I said something the other day. Yeah, I said that we could have the best front three in the Premier League. Like when you see that, like the fact that you've got 4 assists, 1 goal, 4 goals, Son and Kane. If Bale's even 80%, is anyone going to argue with me here? Like,
my young self is just waiting for Gareth Bale to be like. Honestly, I'm going to admit this right now. When I was young, when I was like, what?
Be careful what you say here.
Yeah, man.
Gareth Bale is one of my favorite players. When they heard it's coming back to the Prem, it's just.
You're going to cry.
Josh.
Just quickly on here, Cameron here says 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. is tough for us Canadians. Yes, but Igal lives here.
He's in the UK.
He's a fraud, Cameron. He's a fraud.
Charleston FC, bro.
I was going to say to Josh,
I was kind of the Match of the Day challenge.
Let Daniel speak.
Yeah, I was just going to say you won't have the best front three. Mane's better than Son. Kane over Firmino, cool. Bale 80% isn't better than Salah at 70%.
This is my argument to it. I understand what you're. Sorry, you carry on. Go on.
No, I was just saying, and Bale at 80% isn't even better than Salah at 70%. So
I think Son is on the level of Salah and Mane, but they have a better team. Look, one sec, let me explain. They have a better team than us. They have you see, if Son had Trent and Robertson and he had a decent midfield, he would be scoring more goals.
I agree with you with Mane. I don't agree with you with Salah.
Let's say I even agree with that on Mane and Salah. Yeah.
Okay.
You're still saying it's an 80% Bale. Like that's not going to cut it.
We don't know what it's going to be.
We know it's not going to be 100% Bale. He's not going to turn back the clock.
One question to the group. If anyone says yes, I want to know why. Is 100% Bale better than a 100% Mo Salah?
No.
Yes, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Look at Ram go.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Guys, let Josh go. Let Josh explain why he is, please.
Number one, they are different players because obviously Salah's more of a finisher. I know they play in the same position, but they're very different. You will never see Salah do the things that Bale did, as in take the ball 90-yard runs and then score from 35 yards out. In a team as terrible as that Spurs team were in 2013. As in,
you asterisks. You love asterisks.
Stop. Let him finish, please.
Look how terrible the Spurs teams have been that he was playing in. He was playing with a man like Huddleston, like Crouch. Like look at who Salah's got around him. You've got to see what, and you know, he was the young player of the year and player of the year and the world record transfer fee. Like they didn't pay for him for that for no reason. Like he was basically the third best player in the world in that season.
Can I ask a follow-up question before someone else goes?
Go for it.
Can you compare Gareth Bale at Real Madrid, who was in a great team, to Mo Salah? Do that comparison, please.
No. Yeah, I think the numbers are comparable of his like first couple of seasons, and then he won more trophies. So,
I've got a question.
I mean, one thing I would say about Gareth Bale, he did score an overhead kick in a Champions League final.
Against Salah.
Wait. I have a question, boys.
We had a bad arm, innit? But go on. I just got a ram.
That was my question. Can I let Ram kill him? Let's go. Kill him, Ram.
I want to see if Ram can defend his player here.
Kill him, Ram.
Go, Ram.
Well, it's all good you saying that, yeah, he could score 40 yards, 35-yard bangers, but I haven't seen Gareth Bale jinx players left, right, and centre, which Salah can do.
What's your argument?
Wait, I'm not done yet.
Okay, let him land.
Wait,
let's go.
I haven't seen Gareth Bale score 30 plus goals in a Premier League season.
He hasn't scored 20.
I'll help you.
Of course he scored 20, you joker.
What was his highest goals in the season?
25.
Yeah,
He's got 25 goals.
His highest in the Premier League was 19 goals and 10. Oh, actually, no, I'm looking at the wrong season.
Is that not Josh's point about the teams?
Guys, stop for a second, please. Ram, keep making the points, please.
It's all good that you could say as a team that Gareth Bale was great, with like Real Madrid and everything like that. But Salah technically is a better player. He's done a lot of things on his own, similar to him, and individual records speaks for themselves. Salah has a better individual record compared to Gareth Bale.
Let me counter that quickly by saying this. Look, that's like saying, I don't know. Let me think. Aguero is better than De Bruyne. Like, as in, Salah is a better finisher in the box. Like, he will get on the end of things, but he cannot be the all-round presence that Gareth Bale was in his prime. Like, he would win games on his own.
In 2017-18, he was that player. He was the main guy because Coutinho wasn't playing as much as.
I want to ask just to clear up. Mo Salah does.
Okay. I want to ask another question because I'm building to something here because I'm interested because I love Mo Salah as a football player. Everyone knows I think he's better than Eden Hazard, and I use outputs as a big indicator in that, so they count. Who's the biggest clutch, Salah?
Bale.
Or Bale?
Bale. He came off the bench in your final and scored 2 goals to win the final.
To be fair,
I asked that because guys, one sec. I asked that because Didier Drogba and Chelsea fans on it. Didier Drogba gets lauded as one of the top 4 strikers in the Premier League because not for goals, the amount of goals he scored, but for the volume of clutch goals that he got. So the question marking is here. I don't think there's any doubt they're both different abilities, but tip top on ability, Salah and Bale.
Yeah.
One has better outputs than the other. The other is more clutch. The question comes into this now. Fully fit, 100% both of them. And I'll go around one by one. I'll go to Lincoln first. Who are you picking? You've got one space left on the right-hand side of your attack. Pick Bale, pick Mo Salah. Who are you picking, Lincoln?
Bale.
Monster?
Bale. It's Bale.
David? Not David. Sorry, Danny, Devil in Details.
Bale.
Egal.
I'm picking Salah.
You can't pick Bale.
Latimus Prime.
Bale all day.
Ram.
Excuse me? Nah.
Bale all day, Ram.
No.
I didn't stutter.
Mo.
Oh, Mo, like he's his mate. All right, Mo. Right. AJ, who you picking?
Bale, fam.
David?
Terry, is it for one game or for a full season?
You just pick your man, bruv.
Okay, I'll pick Bale.
Josh?
Bale, and that's why he's the better player.
So I would pick Mo Salah myself, but
I think it's down to personal preference though, because Bale was a powerhouse.
Personal preference. But if 80% of a personal preference pick one thing to another, it's more popular. It means it's better. Like,
but that question was prime, so you're taking them in the prime. But if you're talking about now, the players are now,
Mo.
And that's what I had these comments. I was just trying to understand how good people think they both are. But what I love is, again, outputs are important, but then one thing that can trump massive outputs are, as we say, like those kind of like clutch moments. And Gareth Bale just has so many finals, so many, like, you know, if I was to say no Ram here, right? If I was to ask all of you that are not Liverpool fans for like that iconic Mo Salah game, what would you all pick?
Liverpool versus Roma.
Okay. That game. Like
anyone else scored 4 goals in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have said versus Watford. Versus Watford when he scored 4 goals.
My point, I didn't even know he scored 4 goals in that game against Roma. You know? I know
it was 2 goals and 2 assists.
Does he actually have a clutch moment?
I don't think so.
The penalty.
Yeah, you guys get why I'm bullish on Spurs now, because that is who we are bringing off the bench to get us through those semi-finals.
I'm not having a go at Mo Salah here. I'm asking a question because I can.
I think it's that Everton game where he won goal of the season.
That was a sick goal.
Yeah, that was pretty big.
What about the Chelsea goal? What about the Chelsea?
But my argument is this: they are great goals.
One sec. When you think of Gareth Bale,
it's too many.
There's loads that you could, and that doesn't mean he's better. That isn't what I'm saying. Sometimes a player will appear better because there are those iconic moments. It's a mental heuristic. It's called an availability bias. You could just remember the goal in the Copa del Rey final, the overhead kick in the Champions League final, the hat trick against Inter Milan. These things.
The goal against Atletico. Don't forget that one.
Those things are iconic in football. Do you get what I mean? Wayne Rooney's overhead kick, Aguero's match winner. Like, you know, some things will just live on. Gerrard's winner against Olympiacos. Every football fan knows that moment.
Gerrard's slip against Chelsea.
I was expecting that to come in, man.
If you went out, guys, if you went out on the street before a football match to Leyton Orient tomorrow night for the Spurs game and asked Leyton Orient fans, name me 5 iconic Mo Salah moments and name me 5 Gareth Bale moments, I guarantee you Mo Salah, I remember that isn't he a great player, just that's the clutch thing. And I just find that concept of football interesting, that because something's more memorable, does it make it better? The answer is, for me, I'm still picking Mo Salah because I want more goals. Because I think over the course of the season, he's going to bang in more goals for me than Gareth Bale. That's going to impact like I said earlier about the KDB Bruno debate. KDB can be better at everything, but the one that has the most goal contributions is the one I'm picking. Because for all, and I gave you, this is my example, the teams. Between 2004 and 2011, who played the better football? Man United, Arsenal, or is beautiful to look at? Man United, Arsenal, or Chelsea?
Say the season again.
Say from 2000, from the year 2000 to like 2008, 2009, who played the better looking and more attractive football?
Arsenal for half that decade.
Arsenal. But then that late United one where
that was good, and we were brilliant. Arsenal primarily were lauded as the best footballing team, but why would Chelsea or Man United in that decade swap with them? Because our outputs were better. We won league titles. Way better. And I have that same output when it comes to reviewing players. By the way, I think KDB's brilliant. I think Gareth Bale's brilliant. But I will pick the guy that produces the most in terms of in most games. And if Mo Salah's scoring and assisting between 38 and 45 goals a season, and Gareth Bale's doing 20 to 25, I'm picking the guy that's almost doubling that. That's just me.
What if Bale's scoring in semi-finals though? What if he's scoring in more important?
Because Terry surprised me. I have to ask him this. You are the king of goal and assist combined contribution. And for me, Bell trumps Salah when you combine both. That's why I'm surprised you're picking Salah. To be honest.
Does he though?
He
And if he
doesn't.
does, I might change my mind. That's an education piece to me. So does
I
he?
don't think he does. I don't think he does.
Look
I
at
don't
the
think he does.
2013 season.
Again, I
Bale's
think
two
you can have
highest
this
scoring seasons in the league were 21
I
goals
said
in the Premier
goal,
League and 19
Goal
goals
and
in the Liga.
assist.
assist,
Goal and assist.
contribution together.
I don't think he does. For me, this is a conversation. This is more about Bale and Mane, because my answer for Bale over Salah was based on one game. If I'm going over a season, I'm probably going to pick Salah. Literally, it's so close between the both of them. But I don't think Salah's actually a clutch player. I think he's had great goals and great moments, but doesn't necessarily make you a clutch player.
Also,
Bale's
Bale's a
done it
better
over and
finisher.
over again.
Bale's a better
One
finisher
second,
to
one
me.
second. You know what being a clutch player makes you? It makes you more memorable over the years times. Like Mo Salah might not be as memorable as a Bale, but right now he's more important to his team than Bale was to Tottenham, because Tottenham were not winning league titles. You know what I mean? So in that sense, in the Premier League, he might not be remembered for all the great things that he did because individually he wasn't as clutch as Bale.
But for Real Madrid, he was more.
So if we look at Gareth Bale, 18-19 season, 14 goals, 7 assists, which is good. That's 21 in 40.
I'll go to his prime. Go to his prime.
Yeah, we're talking about
2012, 2013.
Stop all talking at the same time. I'm going for it one by one. So 18-19, it's 21 goals contribution in 42 games. 2017-18. Well, let me wait for this to load up here. 21 plus 7, so it was 28 goal contributions in 39 games, which is very, very good. 16-17 season, 9 goals, 6, so 15 in total. Go back to 15-16 season. That was really good. 19 and 15 respectively in 31 games. That's serious high level.
19 and 15 and 31.
And then we'll go 14-15 season, because you go too far back. Mo Salah weren't at his peak in that point either. Still in the Liga. That was good as well. 17 goals, 12 assists. So that was 30 and 48. So still, obviously, not just over 50%. If we go back to the 13-14 season, I haven't done the percentages on these. That was very good. First year there, 22 goals, 19 assists was amazing. So yeah, very good. I just think over the last 4 or 5 years, Mo Salah's been at like 88%, like goal to contribution ratio for like 4 years running now. That's a madness. And what you get with him in real terms is you get the fitness level as well. But look, I'm not taking that away from Gareth Bale. I just go for Mo Salah. I think his outputs as a combined total are just a bit better. But I'd have to look at the stats like in more detail. But Gareth Bale, when he was fit or when he is fit, is just like ridiculous. His last season in Tottenham, I mean, even then, like he got 13 goals and 17 assists. Like that's mad year. Like in all competitions, this is of course as well. But yeah. Sorry, go on.
In the 2012-2013 season, the Premier League, he got 26 goals, 15 assists.
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
That's in the Premier League as well.
No. Sorry, that's overall.
Okay.
In terms of the Premier League review of the weekend and in the next game, who actually watched the Arsenal games? I actually didn't see it.
I watched
it. I watched a bit of it. Yeah,
they were so lucky that the VAR did not have a look at that handball, because
from
everything we've seen from this
one
weekend,
at a time.
Stop one at a time, please.
From everything we've seen from this weekend, that should have been a handball for me.
But I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Arsenal, I'll big Arsenal up because they're starting to win ugly. Something we'd never seen. We haven't seen from them in a very, very long time, and you have to give that to them, innit? So
I agree. They won. They were lucky, but then.
But West Ham outplayed them.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They still won.
You were celebrating last week when we went live after you guys did that against Brighton, bro. So, they deserve it. Interesting comment here that says, talk about Bruno and he's acting. A lot of people, that meme went out where he got his ankle and foot got trodden on. Do you know the weirdest thing about that for me? It's like he actually had his ankle and foot trodden on. I couldn't believe people were like upset that he got hurt. But like, yeah, it was a bit of a theatrical jump, but I'm like, but he actually did. It wasn't like they missed his foot and he did. I did find it weird. And then you had, what's his name yesterday? Did you see Timo Morata doing exactly the same thing?
Yeah.
But there we go. That's a super chat. So we have to read it out. For me, it made me laugh that people thought he was play acting. He obviously exaggerated a bit because he wants to get an advantage for his team, but he actually did make contact. I want to do this now. Best performance of the weekend for a club. Who would you guys go with?
Spurs.
Yeah.
Everton.
I'm trying to think of anyone else.
Palace beat Man United.
Brighton.
No, my
I
thing
think
with Everton,
Brighton.
it was West Brom. It's West Brom.
Who said Brighton?
It's not a bad
Ram
shout.
did.
Because they
People need
played
to put
well.
respect on Brighton's name. I swear to
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
I need to change my prediction.
Trossard is a player.
Trossard is a
They're
good
number
player.
8. Bissouma, however you pronounce it.
Lamptey, you guys sold Lamptey, and he's looking better than Reece James right now. Let's be honest.
Stop
Lamptey's
it.
looking
Stop it. Stop
amazing.
it. Stop it.
Let's be honest.
Stop it.
Why?
Reece
Let's be
James is a
honest.
better defender. Reece James is a better defender, I think. But like
This
Lamptey,
This
more
guy
explosive.
came in. This guy came in those first 2 games, and he's shown at Brighton that he's quality. And Chelsea, you guys might regret selling him.
No,
Let's be
okay.
He
honest.
was, he was great
Wow.
from January. He was great from January.
We had to sell him.
May I interject?
Yes.
Hey, Gal, this whole you sold him and now he's doing good. You're gonna forget it is a bollocks, fam. It's nonsense. You know why? Because if he had stayed at Chelsea, we're not seeing the same Lamptey, bro. We're not. The only reason we are now saying Lamptey's sick is because he's playing in a team and a system that suits him. If he's at Chelsea, he might not be doing the same thing. So I'm sick of tired of hearing all these arguments of, you've sold this player and that means you regret it.
That's
No,
not
it
true.
means that player's the good now.
On Lamptey as well, I see it this way. He's doing very well. He looks very, very good. But again, everybody attacks Brighton, so he has so much space to run into attack. If he's in a Chelsea team and everyone's sitting behind the ball, he's going to do brilliant things still. Is he getting the same freedom? Is he getting the same space? I gave this example earlier. You kids won't remember this. I'm not calling you all kids, the kids watching. When Man United signed Ashley Young the season before, he had he had the highest chance creation rate in the league. He did. So he created more chances in the Premier League than any other player. I remember being excited about it. And I was still young then. And my dad was like, yeah, but Aston Villa, he gets more time, more space, more room to run in behind, more time to cross the ball because they don't press them as hard. When he's at United, everyone plays, they didn't call it low block back then. Everyone's behind the ball. You'll have less time and space. You'll get pressed harder. People try harder against you. You'll see his numbers drop. Shut up, Dad. You're just jealous because you're a Spurs fan. You ain't signing no one. Yeah, because Ashley Young never got within 50% of the numbers he got of chances created at United as he did at Aston Villa for that very reason. So Lamptey looks
Valencia
great.
too. Don't forget Valencia as well.
Yeah, and I think, look, Lamptey looks brilliant, but I get why you'd push it as an Arsenal fan, Gal. Like, push the agenda. It's great. But we
lost the game. We lost the game because he came in and changed the game. Emerson and Alonso were playing. They both got weren't playing, and he came in.
He came as a right winger.
Gal, but you attack and you leave the space in behind.
But Terry, he came on as a right winger, not a right back. So he had all the time to go forward and attack.
Also, we have first refusal on him as well, so I'm not too bothered.
Yeah, I gotta say though, his like runs are giving me like fullback Bale vibes, like the way he's not going to be a fullback.
He is. I just think everyone's got he's a different kind of fullback to AWB. But before AWB joined United, every year there's a new youngster that everybody's like, wow! Just everyone's got to slow down and get the pressure off his back because it's going to end up. So I got a throat sweet that's got stuck in my teeth. Like I get out.
Do you know who Lamptey is? I look at him now, and I'm starting to see similarities between him and Reguilon. They're very, very similar. If you know what I mean. I think they're very similar.
Very dynamic.
Reguilon.
Who's that?
Terry's mocking it.
I know who that man is. Oh, is he a bit like Alex Telles or like that? Okay, cool. Biggest flop team of the week. I've got to ask it because we're gonna do it every week. But who's biggest flop?
Man United.
Chelsea.
It's United. It's not Chelsea. We got a red card.
We played the champions and we lost.
No, wait. I want to stop hearing this. Oh, we got a red card. You got yourself in that position.
We got a red card.
Okay, thank you, Rams. It doesn't matter. It's United.
It's United.
See, I would take it and say United. If I was going to really bias and fight back on this platform, I'd say yeah, but we didn't gas ourselves up. Chelsea gassed themselves so much, the fall was harder. Like, how bad it was. Anita eventually turned it on, but this is how embarrassed they were. Anita and also wouldn't put their cameras on yesterday.
Nah, I'm not going to let you guys push the agenda. Listen, Man United were even worse in it. It's as simple as that. Hold on. We are not, even though, we did talk the talk and all that, but we weren't expected to still beat Liverpool. You guys,
no,
we were not. No, we were.
You lot
not.
made me believe that you were going to. You lot made me believe you were going to.
But
Monster,
hold on.
What have we said about you, Monster? We've said you can say ridiculous things because the way you say it, we believed it. We believed what you were saying.
Listen, don't worry. Hold on.
We believed what you were saying.
Believe. Listen, I'm doubling down.
Lied to us. No.
I didn't lie to you.
What's more?
I doubled down. I keep saying it.
Oh,
Chelsea.
what? You're prime. What one?
On the 21st. Go on, Prime.
What's more embarrassing, losing to Liverpool or getting
listen, Prime, I never said that Manchester United weren't as embarrassing. We were the embarrassing team, but I'm challenging Monster's point of, we weren't expected to win. No, bro. You man were gassing.
No. My expectations was for Chelsea to win. I'm not denying that.
Let's look at this from the point of view of the Football Terrace.
Yeah.
Which videos are trending after they lost? Man United? Were my videos trending about my preview, or were your videos trending about your preview? And Nisa today did over 138,000 views on my Twitter feed for what she said about Lampard sussing out Klopp. So for me, it's the biggest flop in terms of the how the mighty had fallen from their preview, right? In real terms, Man United take the L. Like on the Football Terrace platform, the biggest losers this weekend were.
Listen, I'm not.
You guys were memes, bro. You're gonna be walking down the road and people are like, "Oh, that's that dude. That's that dude, isn't it?"
I'm still not. I keep saying I'm still not scared of Liverpool. I believe when we play them again, we will beat them. I'm still gonna double down.
Can you big scream in
double down?
Get them to do that again, please, with the music.
I know. These comments of Lampard has sussed Klopp got more views than when she was on Sky. Like that's how many. Like the video. Like on Sky, but that's how.
This weekend was at L.
Oh my god!
It's okay, guys. It's okay. It's still early. We are still going to win the league. We are. Don't worry. Anfield in March. We are going to.
1 second, Ram. Why are you talking now, fam? When we come to the previews, you was nowhere to be seen.
I wasn't.
Because that he only came on now that his team won.
I wasn't. Oh, hang on, wait.
Did you watch Ram? Did you watch Drifty, Cal, and Matt? Because that's how you defend your team, bro. That is them three are a lesson for when you're previewing your team. That's the energy you come with, because what they were great with as well. Learn from this. They don't go 0 to 100 straight away. They slowly build up to it, and even when they're fighting back, calm, and they're like experts at it. And
Monster came up with Thiago Silva's better than Van Dijk.
Yeah, but they did.
I said just as good. I said just as good.
That.
Just as good. That's what I said.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. But yeah, Ram. So that's like Drifty and Cal and Matt. That's the level you got to aim for. Prime. We'll get you there, Sam. One day.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I do what I do. I'm good.
Yeah, do nothing, fam. That's not good, bro.
Can I just ask you? So, what happens if we go to Anfield and beat Liverpool? What happens?
Same energy.
I'm gonna run riot on the stream, innit?
And you can.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
You can do whatever the hell you want, man. But that's if you beat us.
We will. Don't worry. We will.
Give it out chest. I love it. I love to see it.
Man, where was all of this for the
Thiago time? Thiago time. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question. Is anyone here that put Liverpool second, third, or embarrassingly put them fourth? Is anybody right now regretting their ridiculous decision? Remember, I got receipts.
No, I'm not.
You best be.
I'm not.
I still think they might not have the hunger to win it again. But,
yeah, Terry, I genuinely believe. Terry, from what I've seen Liverpool's 2 games, and I genuinely believe we will finish above them. Genuinely.
Oh yeah, that's happened last season. Last season.
No. It's not the same.
But then we turned it up.
Not the same.
It's not the same.
Terry, do you know what Liverpool fans love doing? They tried to make it out like they weren't rated, whether last season or the season before, they weren't rated to win the league. They keep saying they were underdogs. You were never underdogs. After two seasons ago where you bottled it, you were picked to win the league. There was nothing. You were not underdogs. You've never been underdogs. Stop lying. Stop lying.
Last season, yeah, we're picked to be underdogs because we didn't sign anyone.
How can last
Manchester
season
City-
you be underdogs when you won the Champions League the game before?
Wait. Terry, let me say this. But Man City went and splashed £60 million on Joao Cancelo, and I don't know who else they bought. They bought Rodri as well, just to add strength to their squad. Who
thought Joao Cancelo was playing?
I think we had some valid points.
The way I look at it is this. You were definitely second favourite behind at the beginning. But the spin of the word underdog makes it sound like you're a Disney story. You know what I mean? And you started the season in wheelchairs and you learned to walk or something. That is
all right. Maybe underdog's the wrong word.
1 second. Underdogs is the wrong word. But what I loved about today, did you see some of Liverpool's PR get smashed out the water today?
What happened?
So
what Steve Parish and that?
Yeah. So you got the rumor that they're getting £25 million for Brewster, right? And then you start seeing this is and that's Liverpool put that out into the ether by giving that to a journalist, right? And it's a lie. It's a fabrication. They're getting a hell of a lot less money, right? Hell of a lot less money than that. And I'll put that super chat out in a minute. They get a hell of a lot less money than that. The media though know that if you thorn to Liverpool fans and praise how good their transfer work is, because some journalists sort of quote tweeted the Sky story and was like, wow, if they get this deal through, that deal will cover all the initial outgoing monies of Liverpool this year. So they was basically saying that you've only paid 25 million for your signing so far because of the installments, but 25 million in for Brewster will cover it. The money you're getting for Brewster is going to be in installments as well. It's a nonsense, right? It's a nonsense, firstly. Secondly, it's a completely fabricated amount. They're getting nowhere near that amount of money. But you saw instantly all these Liverpool fans were retweeting this journalist going, yeah, it's amazing. Look how great we are. And then Steve Parish quote tweeted this guy saying basically this is all a lie. Maybe it isn't true after all. And I was happy about it because it isn't Liverpool do great business, but this is the way I look at it is this, right? This is my analogy to KJ earlier. How many people did Lord Jesus Christ feed with that fish?
About 3,000.
5,000.
If Jesus was Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool fans would tell you it was 10,000. However good it is, they always add a little bit more on. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like no matter what it is, if they won the Euro Millions and won 100 million, they'd tell you it was 200 million. They've always got to finesse more out of it. Like your transfer business is the best in the Premier League. Your team is the best. Klopp's been the best for a few years. You're playing some of the best football. You're amazing. You're brilliant. That's why every time Liverpool play and Martin Tyler's a commentator, Martin Tyler's name trends because he doesn't say enough nice things about Liverpool. He says they're brilliant. Imagine getting upset. You didn't say enough nice things about me. Think about that out loud. I said loads of nice things. Yeah, but
my God.
I wanted even more. I wanted more. You literally, Oliver, more please, sir.
I think we're bored of City also. People are bored of City and they just wanted something different.
No one cared about City to get bored of them, fam. Oh, this is the chat.
Is that Kai Havertz? Hang on, wait. Is that Kai Havertz?
No, our Kai, blood.
I love you,
no
bro,
doubt.
A man so agile in my life. Like he was just sitting there. At one point, I thought he was going to come out with something at one point that's going to get him banned from the channel. I thought he was just going to, when someone's like that. No, I don't even know why he came on, man. I was looking at him going, he's going to go in a minute. Man's going to leave his house on the road, find some little skinny man with glasses on and beat him up.
Wait, we should do Football Terrace flop of the week each week, considering what people say in that, and the reactions, it has to be Kai, fam. Has to be.
Sometimes, after the Sheffield game, you just got to come on and you just got to sit there and take it out. That's what you got to do. You saw me the day before when Crystal Palace beat United. I was smiling yes, this is incredible. Then I lost. I was just there no, time to sit down, relax, take that off.
I love this comment here. It says, Martin Tyler hates Liverpool. No, he doesn't. Martin Tyler is completely balanced, and that's what.
That's their problem.
Stroh drifted if it's one bit, this guy. If a commentator says Firmino probably should score a few more goals, No, that's not a positive. You're written off. You hate us. It's like, hey, it's an objective opinion.
And Terry, you know when you said that, you know why you said that? Yeah, it applies to Chelsea fans as well, because Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher said something about Ruben Loftus-Cheek, which was a fact about how if he doesn't continue to perform, Chelsea are going to look to ship him on. Chelsea fans were going at their necks, and then Matt Law came out and said the same thing, and they all went silent.
Exactly. And by the way, a lot of fan bases, Man United's fan base is like that, but it doesn't trend as easy because our fan base is so polarized. If that makes sense. So if Gary Neville says something negative about Pogba, half the fan base goes, "You disgrace Neville." The other half goes, "Yeah, you're right." We're not almost like the delusion in Chelsea's fan base and Liverpool's fan base is that there's a bigger percentage of them. Does that make sense? Like with Man United, they're broken off into little fractures, so it's harder to see a trend from it. But it's all fan bases have them. It's just like certain, like I always get Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans, their one is referee. They know the referee, the wife's name, the kid's name, where they went to school. It's like you man are obsessed with referees. The referees don't care about you, but you care about them. And rivals probably have something they notice about Man United fans, something that we all moan about or hate as an example. And with Liverpool fans, it's if anyone says anything, it's not negative. It's if you don't praise them enough. If you say, "Oh, you're really, really good." So what do you mean really good? Yeah, you were really good. We're better than really good. It's like, yeah, but, okay, you were really, really, really good. We're better than really, really, really good. We're amazing. We're better than amazing. It's whatever you do, they want the next one up. Do you know what I mean? Nothing is ever enough. And that song from Greatest Showman, "Never Enough."
Great song. Great song.
That's Liverpool should replace "You'll Never Walk Alone" with "Never Enough." I sit on here. I did a stream the other day. I said how good a signing Jota was, how good this was, how good that was. All I then said was like he's going to start a few games on the bench. That got the video written off. How dare you say that? Oh, because you know, isn't it? Like all the praise, and then I just say he's a bench player though. Yeah, 12 players, bro. Like
should have said swap him for Firmino.
It's weird.
No, that would be wavy, bro. Jota's false nine. You telling me that ain't wavy? Come on.
Watch it, KJ. They come after you next.
Yo, come for me then, Liverpool fans. You pay.
Yeah. Who are they gonna build up? Who are they gonna build up to fall next? That's the question.
Klopp.
Because it always happens. Out of one of the two, Liverpool or City, one of them are going to drop off this year, and one of them, the one that drops off, everyone's going to go after their head. So in my opinion,
it'll be Pep.
Who's it going to be? It'll be Liverpool that they go after because City dropped off last season.
Well, it depends who drops off, doesn't it? But the point is, the issue that you have, and other than Ram, because it might not be his team, is City don't have enough fans for them to go after him because there's no traction there. Like it's a fact. Like if Arsenal were in 7th. That's a bigger story than Liverpool, than City dropping the 4th or 5th, because Arsenal have a fan base.
United coming 4th is bigger than them winning the league.
I think that if like Man City does drop up, I think Pep's going to get the most heat. Like, and not because of Man City, because he won't be touted as the greatest of all time.
To be honest, it doesn't really matter if like Man City drop off or anything, but it's this factor. This season, this is Pep's. What? Fifth season with City. If they bring in Koulibaly and they do not win the Champions League, everyone's going for Pep's head.
No,
if he leaves.
No, not if
I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Pep will resign before being pushed out. Tell you that.
Not if the plan is to get Messi next year. If they get Messi next year, forget about the whole fan story, because all the Messi fanboys are coming over, and Man City right away will jump past all our clubs, because Messi by himself, I think, has more fans than some of our clubs.
Wait, Dave.
Well, not Liverpool United.
Which one of us in here? I know it was one of you, man, that said Messi would not be able to play in the Prem. Was it you, Prime?
What do you think? You think it was me? I love Messi's the GOAT.
Was it you, Prime?
I think it was Prime.
I asked the question about it, yeah.
Of course you asked the question.
Right, you've got to stop doing it. No disrespect, you're here to ask questions. That is literally my job, right? You just give us your opinions, not ask questions, bro. Do you think Messi will work in the Premier League?
He probably will, but I don't know. Probably would.
Yo, KJ.
Don't ever change it.
KJ, I apologize for saying you sit on the fence the other day, bro, because no one.
You see what I mean? I told you. This is why I came for you, man. Afterwards, you idiots, bro. Me sitting on the fence, so you mad?
The fence is beautiful.
Why? What's wrong? What's wrong with what I said?
We can never get an answer out of you, Prime.
You know what the problem is? Prime, what you said. Say what you said. Nothing.
As much
I
chest
gave
as
an answer. You just don't like
What
it.
happens when you give an opinion is we hear vibrations come out of your mouth, but it's just.
Because you guys don't like the answer I gave. That's the difference.
No, Prime. If you add a positive and then put a negative next to it, what does it equal?
Well, it's an answer.
0, isn't it?
Nothing.
Neutral.
That's the point.
Nothing.
That's the point.
He has as much chest as a hobbit.
Prime.
It's an answer. If you guys don't like it, it's fine.
No, Prime. I believe that you believe that Messi would be good.
I mean,
I don't know.
You know what? Let him live with it. Let him live with it.
Josh, someone.
Your idiot opinions is calling you out, Josh.
Yeah, someone's calling you out, Josh.
Let me tell you something.
Not him.
Deulofeu and Alexis Sanchez are half the player. Or not even half the player. Not even a centimeter of. Deulofeu is not even a centimeter of what Messi is, and he tears it up for Everton and Watford. Sanchez
why
couldn't even make it at Barcelona, and he teared it up in the Premier League. You think
Messi doesn't need a defense. It's good. It's all good. Messi doesn't. It's fine. It's fine, Agal. It's all good.
All right, guys. Elite Opinion says Josh King is the Claude of Tottenham Hotspur fans.
I can't even see.
Wait. His opinion stinks as well, man. There is no knowledge and vibes session in this panel right now.
Bring him on.
Right, I ain't got room in the studio. I need to. A few people want to come on. Prime and Lincoln. Thank you very much for coming on, man.
I've got to go. I've got to go.
Prime saying, and that's
always, guys.
I'll chat to you soon.
I went to them and say no, and they just
no. Lincoln was about to save me.
I was begging, you know. Yo, Lincoln, you need to get kicked just for begging, fam. You don't beg.
Man's moving like Ndombele and Mourinho.
You need room, Terry.
No, we got room. If Elite Opinions wants to come, but he never comes on. He always says he does. Lincoln, I'm still sore with you there, bro, because I've seen you super chat.
Oh, come on!
My point is, how many of the other YouTubers actually give you a voice and a role and everything?
To be honest, I'll say this now. I haven't watched United Stand in a while.
Okay.
I want your money, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You don't care about that. You want your peas, bro.
Hey, Zane, vouching for me, all right?
No, Lincoln. No simp September. We don't simp for Terry. We don't do that.
Yo, where's my boy?
Dave, weren't you begging to come on the other day, fam?
Wait.
Oh, who wants to watch you on? Oh, please, let me do it, please.
I'll do it if you like, Terry.
That was you,
what?
Dave.
What? He said, who needs a replacement for Chelsea? I said, I'll do it.
Opinions? What's his boy doing?
He just tweeted again.
There's no link.
He's a pussy. He's not coming on. He never shows his face.
David and Monster have been waiting.
He's back. Stop. Bring him in.
Stop. Someone send the link.
He's right there. I see a freaking comment.
Yeah, but there isn't a link. Okay, I'll put the link in the comments, but then some other bellend's going to get it.
I will send it to him.
Yeah, is anyone got it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Prime will send it.
Because I want to go to bed soon. I've got an early start tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got to go soon.
Assuming he still has his actual Twitter.
Oh, that's
I'll tweet it to him.
Imagine 9K all just for Zoom calls for uni.
Yo, I'm so vexed.
Honestly,
why are you talking about school right now? It's 11:30.
I had tomorrow.
Yo, Terry, I think it's past these kids' bedtimes, fam. Talk about school.
I've got a few people in the back room now. Listen, Lincoln, thank you very much for coming on, bro. Have you on? Because Samuel's here and we'll have for Elite Opinions. I'll speak to you soon, bro. Cheers, Links.
No.
And that's Elite Opinions. Where are you at?
No, I sent it to him. His DM's not open, so I had to tweet it. So
he's so special.
Oh, you tweeted it, so everyone's gonna see that.
I told him come on quick. His DMs aren't open.
My phone. Yeah.
This guy's always doing this, man.
He's a bit Spursy, any Josh.
He's gone missing. He's actually gone full Spurs.
He's gone full Kai Havertz, mate. He's gone full Kai Havertz.
Oh, stop.
Kai Pereira.
Oh, I can't wait. When he bags against United, it's going to be so funny.
Beating Chelsea must be the greatest thing to ever happen to Rams because you're talking about so much trash.
Are you disappointed?
Go straight. Someone said I've never been university. I went to uni, baby, and got a first. So suck it, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here, bro.
Wait, Josh, what was your question?
Are you disappointed in Havertz so far?
No.
No.
Lies.
Nope.
Is it like you think he needs time to bed in? Obviously, isn't it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, no.
I've seen things from him already.
No. My thing is that you all said that he needs time to gel, right? He needs time to gel in a new team, and he's playing in a different position to the position he's been playing in for most of his career, in his most productive area in his career.
Dave, he's
Doesn't
meant
that
to be
show
the
you
next
that
Michael
Lampard?
Ballack,
This is my thing about Lampard. I've been saying
Lampard's
it for a long
incompetent.
time. I've been saying it for a long time. He's been playing people out of position, and I don't like it.
Right,
Hey, let's get it.
Opinions, can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
His voice dropped. His voice dropped.
He won't. What you got to say, Elite Opinions?
I've been gone a while, and some of these opinions I've been hearing the last few months stank.
What though?
This Josh King, brother. The amount of shit he speaks on a regular basis is.
He just
what? Wait, Terry. I need to get my mom to swallow his internet, bro.
No, he does that on purpose. He's a pussy. He can't think of what to say. He's a dickhead.
Not his internet. He starts saying it and then he goes.
He does that. He does that on purpose.
He's never put his camera on either.
That's it. Listen, guys, I have got to go though. Anyway, everyone who's tuned in, thank you all. Sorry, Sam, got here, bro. Sorry, my man. Everyone, take care of yourselves. Good night. God bless, and I'll see you all again. Peace.